T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Hello and welcome everyone to the fourth and final day here at the ECS Season 8 Finals. Are we ready to crown a champion today? We have had the dream playoffs with the best 4 teams in the world fighting it out in the semis, but today it all comes down to just 2. Team Liquid and Astralis, it was the most anticipated matchup at the major. These 2 teams, NA versus EU, it does not get better than this. Are there any Astralis fans here today? Sounds pretty quiet out there, which means, are there any Liquid fans here today? Only one team can be crowned champion here and now, so get ready. It starts now.
They'll do what they can. They've got to battle through the smoke. Abel J looking for his third. Oh my goodness, he's got all 4.
But, oh, that's fantastic! 10-second defuse. Can he get the 1 kill and run for it? He's gonna go straight for it. 5 seconds, 4 seconds left. Circuit. No! The quad kill!
But they're still going to connect. Big spray down on the cars of Breezy. There's 4 of them! That is absolutely magnificent.
He's baiting his teammate, so that's disgusting from Keitarato. How is this turning around? His teammate's still just waiting there. He gets taken out. Keitarato will deliver all the kills. What a ridiculous ace!
The grenade is beautiful. Oh, he's going to line them up! He's done it! This guy is something special.
To follow the direction of the sound, and there's 2 for Zywoo.
Texas, this is the moment we have all been waiting for. It's time for Championship Sunday here at the ECS Season 8 Finals. We began this week with 8 incredible teams, but now only 2 remain to fight for the lion's share of $500,000 prize money and the ECS Season 8 Championship title. My name is Freya Spears, your desk host for the duration of this weekend, and joining me up here is the wonderful Launders and Get Right. Gentlemen, how are you doing today? Are you excited?
With the jitters I have right now, I can only imagine what it feels like to be the players. They understand how important this tournament is, and this culmination is just so perfect.
Oh, definitely. I mean, looking at both of these teams coming into the final, there's some storylines and some worrying in there and there's in the Liquid camp, but at the same time, they've been playing so well in the group stage. Astralis did the same. They did have a little difficulty against Sharks in the first game, but then at the same time, what is it, number 1 team and number 4 team?
Number 4, yeah.
This is going to be deciding who actually going to go, cement themselves at number 1 again, or Liquid's going to catch up to them.
Yeah, there is so much on the line for these matches, and we want to hear what you guys at home are thinking too. Make sure you are following at ECS on socials and using the hashtag ECS8 to let us know what you think is going to be going down in this grand final. As Sue said up there on the stage, this is the grand final we have all been waiting for, EU versus NA. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, this tournament, the time of year that we have this tournament, just right before the season is completely over. Everybody has been playing a lot, or in Astralis and Liquid's examples have been boot camping, which has proven to be a really good thing for them. Then we have both majors of the year won by Astralis. Those are in the books already. Those help make this more amazing, right? That helps make this final more amazing. And then we have Liquid, who have taken a Grand Slam this year as well. So it's just, we had Astralis versus EG in the semi, and that delivered, and that was fantastic. But that was a game where EG maybe had the edge in the Veto, and Astralis still took them down. So that just makes it more of an underdog story for Liquid. More unlikely that Liquid would win, but more amazing if they did.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely huge performance from both teams. It's almost time to welcome them up on stage. But first, let's take a little closer look at Astralis and Liquid.
I think we feel pretty confident going into all games that we're going to play here. I mean, if we're going to play against EG and Liquid, that is going to be the toughest one for us. But besides that, I believe that we should be favorites and we should be confident going into every match.
We're not really looking at any opponents or really focusing on anti-striding or being worried about them. I think we're more worried about us and actually sticking to our game plan because it's so funny we just talked about it. But yeah, I think we're just going to stick with our game plan. We know we're the better team. You know, the good results they had, it just brings confidence to them, but, you know, it doesn't have any effect on us. So, you know, we're just going to scout them a little bit, see how it goes, and, you know, go into the game with some confidence.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that we have been waiting for. After 4 days of incredible Counter-Strike action, it all comes down to this one match. Only one team can claim that title and cement themselves as the ECS champions. So I ask all of you here today, are you ready? Please welcome your grand finalists, Team Liquid and Astralis.
Our two grand finalist teams both up on the stage, ready to face off against one another. Number 1 in the world, number 4 in the world. It's going to be an incredible best of 3 series, guys.
Yeah, where should we start? Astralis, is that what you want to just talk about?
Yeah, let's go for
Astralis, form porn for a second. They've won 4 majors in total. They won 2 of the last majors. They have beat Liquid the last 2 times they've meet up, and they have basically shown no drop in form versus anybody this month. They're 17-3 in maps this month. They won Beijing without dropping a single map. I feel like it's hard to say anything except for that. Astralis are uncontestably the greatest CSGO team of all time, but at least the most winning.
Definitely. I mean, just looking at how amazing, impressive it is to win back-to-back majors in just 1 year, especially when everyone started to be like, is Astralis the same thing they were last year? Can they actually do it? You know, because in the beginning of the year they were so dominant, and then it fell off a little bit, and then Liquid is showing up, and you know that kind of storyline. And then directly when the second major comes up, you know they're back there. They're showing off how impressive they are, how good they are, and that they're one team that we've been admiring in a way because of they have taken things to the next level, using the utility, being smart, they're playing together. They have everything in their team composure, even with Sonic as their manager / coach, is just mind-blowing. Mostly because how they're taking it to whatever level we can see.
It feels like the only thing Astralis have to be worried about is running out of stars on their star space on their jerseys at this point. They have just dominated everything, and again with EG ranked number 2, better Veto than Liquid, and they still they just had no trouble whatsoever. I mean, you could say they're going to feel pressure, but I think this is their third. How many grand finals appearances have they had this year? Over 10, maybe even 13. It's or just every single event that they've attended, basically they've been able to make it to the final or win. So they're just the unstoppable force of the moment.
Yeah, it seems like that's all we talk about when we talk about Astralis. Obviously winning those 3 majors in a row. No team has ever done that in the history of Counter-Strike before. You were saying, Mohan, the undisputed kings of CSGO.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, you have to also remember that how competitive CS is nowadays. I mean, at the beginning it was, no one hasn't figured out the game. No one hasn't figured out you can use the utility like they do nowadays. There is not so much information into analyzing demos and games in general like there has ever been before. So it's pretty amazing to see how Astralis can take a map like Mirage. It hasn't been updated in such a long time, and they surprised everyone last year during DreamHack Marseille with nading everyone everywhere. And everyone's like, what's happening? What's going on? That was the first showing of how dominant that team can be, and especially when knowing 3 majors in a row, and knowing
do you get bored?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you brought up a good point, Mohan, in the green room. You were talking about, obviously, Liquid, the team they're going to be facing up against in this grand final. They're the only team to really take a chunk out of Astralis' era, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it was a siesta from Astralis, you can only credit Liquid for doing anything like that. If it not for Liquid, this era would just continue from the last year into probably another Grand Slam for Astralis. So we can say there is some upside for Liquid. They like playing against Astralis. We know from Stewie that on MIBR they had good results versus Astralis. This is a team that definitely enjoys it. The only issue is, and the primary issue and the overarching issue is the Veto, and that's something that we'll get to in a bit. But we know that both teams have taken a boot camp and probably have strengthened their Vetos in that time. We know that Liquid have been playing well since that at this tournament, and they look a lot better than some of their recent form would show you. So that's a good thing. For fans who are holding their breath a little bit, yes, there's some stuff that we're all going to learn today about how comfortable they are and how much they have taken from their time off.
Definitely, and that's the most interesting thing about both of these teams. They're going to go on 3 tournaments in a row. So they have to be boot camping beforehand. They're going to not have any practice before all 3 is going to end. So it's impressive to see, like, we got the beauty right now to see them in the first final of those 3 tournaments in a row and see actually how this is going to be cementing for the other 2 ones coming up for both of them. Maybe they're going to fall off, like both of the teams, or they're going to keep going and really like steamrolling the other teams. But just looking in general, like how they were going up here, Liquid had some hiccups, a little bit problem yesterday. I want to also like point out that Elish, Naf, and Stewie, which was amazing during the group stage, they had some issues on the first round against Fnatic on overpass, and I was a little bit worried they weren't even gonna get to the finals, because I was worried because of all of those 3 players. Stu is the playmaker. Elish is the one who's going to clutch, is like to do like 4K there and there and actually be a very aggressive person. And Naf is going to be Naf. You know.
Yeah, and Overpass is also a very tricky one. This is a map that you know, gets played a lot between these 2 teams. The last 2 times that they played this in a series, Astralis were able to beat them. And since we saw Liquid play against Fnatic yesterday, they look like they didn't have an Overpass really. So if that's a map that slips through the Veto, that's a huge issue.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you brought up the point there, Chris, but obviously 16-6 against Fnatic, or losing out, I should say, against Fnatic yesterday on Overpass. But then they totally flipped it. 16-6 on Inferno and then 16-10 on Mirage to cement their spot here. They really showed an improvement in form during that series.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you're knowing Stewie, who had amazing groups like I already mentioned out, and you see him on the overpass. I felt like it wasn't the Stewie that we saw, you know, the other day when the first day where they qualified directly to playoffs. Playing confident, he's been practicing a lot. He's been like taking it up a notch, because I know how much he works for being that good as he is, and he's not a person who's going to give up easily when something is going to hit him. You know, he's going to work even more and more to eventually succeed. And that was showing during the group stage. And directly when the playoffs, and I see them play against Fnatic, I was a little bit worried there, because I saw, you know, Stewie wasn't really happy sometimes when you can see him play there. But then the other 2 maps came up, him and Nafla, especially on Inferno. When it was the second map, you were like, Fnatic is a really good Inferno team. How is this going to plan out? Naf and Stewie basically closed down the B side.
Yeah, and that does open up their Inferno, which is, again, another big problem for them was their B on Inferno with Stewie and Nafly, and that could bring in questionable results. Whether we see an Inferno or not in the Veto is a big question mark, but them having strengthened it does strengthen the Veto whether or not it gets played, right? It either funnels Astralis into other maps, or maybe if they do play it, then they have more of a chance. But yeah, their recent form coming up is really good. But I will say that Astralis are the only team, I think, at this tournament where we haven't questioned players on individual maps outside of like a Zipix, who then in those matches had like pivotal clutches that you can't ignore.
No, exactly. We're going to take a look at our head-to-head with 2 players. It is going to be Elige and Magus, players even that we've both talked about being superstars, right? Magus obviously going absolutely ham in the last series we saw.
Well, it's kind of interesting that you didn't bring up Device, because of both of those 2 players, Device and Magus, which is on the same team. Device is actually the rated one higher than Magus. But what's pretty cool in Magus is like this, that he's also very aggressive. He can also lurk. He can do everything for the team. And Device is more the stay player and always going to clutch it in the end and show off his AVP. So it's completely 2 different roles they're playing. But knowing like Elige, for example, who is the highest ranking player in this tournament, highest ranking of their team, and seeing him, especially like also had issues on overpass in general, like he stepped up his game huge, especially that Mirage spray transfer he did. You know, that it blows me away, basically.
I mean, there was a moment there during the Grand Slam where people were trying to figure out if Elige was the best player in the world. You know, while Liquid were #1, well, he was the #1 player on Liquid. I mean, at that point, like, it was Elige finally getting his flowers, because he really had just shown so much consistency, so much top-level gameplay versus the best teams, and he just has this ability to, like, not only be smart and put himself in good positions, but bail himself out of bad positions with amazing aim.
Exactly, and what's pretty impressive is like everyone's talking about how good Astralis was last year, but you remember how many times they played against Liquid in the finals? It was kind of sickening in a way to see Astralis play Liquid in the finals, because Liquid couldn't even come close to actually close it out and win all of those finals to play against each other. And the impressive thing is like Elish, I think he was like questioning himself because he wasn't performing in those finals during last year, and then you see him this year going like ham. He's destroying everyone. He's the Elish that everyone's been waiting for. And this year they've been, winning the Grand Slam. They're actually winning over Astralis finally. They're doing all they can do. Like they were, aiming for such a long time. And Stewie maybe was the missing ingredient for them.
Yeah, it could be. And yeah, up until the ESL Pro League finals where, Liquid finally did it, then you were like, wow, maybe they are the best team in the world. And then, of course, the major happened. But, that was a moment where they culminated all of their regular results versus everyone else into finally taking down Astralis in the finals. So there's also that silver lining that they can look back on fondly.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's a good point you bring up there, Launders. This, for me, is kind of like the major final that never happened. We were so expecting Liquid to go into Starlight Berlin and be taking that trophy, but the dip in form we saw just came at the wrong time, didn't it?
It's true. And there's no excuse for dip in form now because of the tournaments that were taking off, because it's the culmination of the year. It's not a major schedule. I'm sure you've experienced this where, sometimes it's right after a long break where you're not actually playing, you're just vacationing with your family. Here, they have just been purely taking the last few weeks off to practice and prepare. And these are teams that they know how to play at this point. The mechanics aren't going to get that much better. You're just going to stay sharp. Instead, you're going to be thinking about the teams that you run into most often and then trying to prepare against them, and hopefully that's going to bleed over into these matches and we'll see some really new stuff.
Definitely, but I want to point out two things before we pretty soon getting into the game. It's like everyone's talking highly about Elish, Naf, Magus, Device, for coming up here because they are the top 4 ranked players in this tournament, and in general this year they've been really impressive. Like whenever tournament they're heading into, I haven't seen really them dropping off. But Stewie has impressed me the most this tournament, mostly because he's a playmaker. He dies a lot. He does a lot of things for the team. He's not having the best stats, for example. Not that stats is everything, but he does so much for the team. So I'm very happy to see him stand out and actually playing so well as he's doing right now, especially for this, last couple of tournaments before the end of the year. But also, if you go to Astralis, Siblings hasn't been showing off like he always does. But one thing you have to notice and remember, he's been winning so many clutches though during this tournament, like he always does. Clutch minister, there's a reason for that. But I'm expecting both of those two, at least in my books, they're going to stand out even more in this final.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we can point to their form after the match is over and just maybe try to draw some correlations between, where they excelled and where they didn't, because, there are some similarities between Xyp9x and Stewie. I mean, they both are really smart in the clutch. Xyp9x does win way more clutches, obviously, but then they also play small sites a lot. That's very common, and they also have tons of history versus each other.
Well, I think it's just about time to get into our map, Veto. This is something we've been speculating for so long. We've been talking about what maps we are going to see played here. Launders, what are you expecting?
Yeah, so I think I tried to think about this Veto a couple of times. I'm not exactly confident what the last map will be, but the first two bans, Train and Mirage, obviously, that's out the window. I think that Astralis will pick Overpass because they've won 2 strong maps versus them on it in their last 2 series most recently, and then Liquid will take D2, where they are 2-1 up versus Astralis, and this is going to be kind of a gimme for Astralis. This is the problem if, Overpass comes through, but then Astralis could also pick Vertigo, or Liquid could take it first. I thought almost certainly Vertigo was going to be left until the end, but Liquid go ahead and make a power play to take it first. So this is going to be interesting because it changes what the ban could be for Astralis.
Oh, definitely. I mean, anyway, when I saw they were picking Vertigo, they were Liquid, of course, there was we were talking about it, we were expecting it as a third map, and everyone's going to be going into the standard maps, and we've been battling through the whole year. It's been really time. So I wasn't really surprised in a way to see Astralis just picking new to just make a showing off and say, okay, you're picking Vertigo, you're trying to do this little trick against us, we'll go against you on you, just show off, and because we're the better team.
They are the better team on you. Oh my god, and Dust 2 is going to be last left over. Oh my god. Wow, this is unlike any of the vetoes that they've had like leading up to this point. So you can tell that there is going to be a ton of preparation going into this match that nobody could have known about until we see it here live. Neither of these teams would have known about it going up against each other. They're going to find out a lot. We're going to find out a lot. This is going to be one hell of a match.
This is so exciting to see, mostly because like, I wrote down with a different pen, and I wrote down all exactly 3 maps just with a bigger pen.
Oh yeah.
You see like that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty impressive to just know it when with those 3 maps was the first one I wrote down, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe not. Of course, you're never sure, but just seeing that I actually was that close and picking all 3 maps, it's like pretty impressive. But like Vertigo first pick, I'm not really sure about that one.
No,
but
crazy.
In the same time, we never know with Liquid.
Yeah, no, potentially Liquid could have had, I think the way they saw it is either way there's a gimme. If Astralis pick Overpass, and that's a free map for them if they go ahead and pick one of their standard picks that they've always done, and then they end up on Dust 2, or they get their Dust 2 pick, and that's fine. But here they pick Vertigo, and then that affects maybe how Astralis think about what they're trying to do. They get the nuke pick, which might be a gimme as well, so that can go back and forth. But as a Dust 2 decider, where recently Liquid are up 2-1, like finally I see a light at the end of the tunnel. So it's just about how good they actually are on Vertigo, and nobody knows.
Exactly. I mean, I think the last time they played, I have a small memory, they played in DreamHack.
They did a while ago.
Chicago.
Versions ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And that game went to 16-14, if I don't remember wrong.
Yeah.
And,
or 13. It was like Liquid
something like
just
that.
barely.
It was very close. But Liquid made a huge comeback, if I don't remember wrong as well on that one. But then at the same time, that was like the early stages on Vertigo. Like everything has changed completely.
It's changed so much, hasn't it, guys? That's what I think is so fantastic about this. I think this is definitely going to be going to 3 maps.
Yeah, I feel like it has to. And I feel like, there's going to be egg on Liquid's face if they don't win Vertigo, obviously. Like, it's a big power play, but I'd love to see the risk in the veto. We talked about this before. You have to risk it for the biscuit. If you don't take those chances when you're already the team that's just tried the same thing over and over again and just continued losing, then it's kind of a fool me twice situation. But here, Liquid are not worried so much about what it's going to look like if they lose. They know that they won't win if they go to a standard play. So that's a great move by them.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we can draw a lot of comparisons between these 2 teams. Obviously, they came through the ECS season online. They qualified in the same week. They also won both their matches on Thursday, which meant they both had a day off on Friday, and they also both went 2-1 yesterday. So I think this is probably one of the tightest matchups we're going to be seeing.
100%. And they even hit it yesterday. They didn't play against EG. We were wondering if that was going to come through in the veto, and now we know that potentially, when they played their matches yesterday, they didn't pick Vertigo when they could have. Yeah. That was an option, and we know that potentially now it's because they were saving it. That could be a real thing. It's no longer a meme.
I'm so excited to get into this. But before we do that, we've got to do our pinnacle predictions. And I think it is time to check in with our casters. James and Dan, how are you doing?
Not too shabby, thank you, Freya. This is a really weird one with that veto. Looking at it backwards, I don't really want to pick against Astralis on Dust 2. I don't really want to pick against them with Nuke as well. Looking at how they've been playing against EG and how they shut them down, I think that's quite terrifying. But obviously Liquid have got something up their sleeve here with this Nuke pick, and so I really don't know what to pick. But I have to pick one of them. It's hard for me to go against Astralis, but
I'm going Vertigo. I'm going for the Vertigo pick. I believe in it, so I'm going for Liquid, James. I believe in Liquid.
Okay, well, Dan's picked Liquid.
Because you're taking so long, I'm going to have to interject it.
I have to pick Astralis. I always pick Astralis.
Get off the fence, James.
I always pick Astralis.
Well, okay. James is going with Astralis.
Yeah.
Chris, I think we're going to come to you next. Who are you going to be going with?
Well, I only have my Swedish
all
flag
these poor
here,
fans in the crowd, Chris, make the right decision.
I know my dollar has his red, so that's going to be for the Danish guys in Astralis.
Okay, yes,
well,
you did have a prop to support.
I know what you're going to be going for, so I'm going to go next. I'm also going to go for Astralis, and we can hand over to Lorna to get some cheers.
Excuse you, Freya. Excuse you with the banter. I'm taking Liquid. Liquid are going to win this map.
Freya's going to hate me one day. Marvelous.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. We'll be checking in with you very, very shortly to get into this grand final for the ages. But I think it's about time to have a look at our pinnacle fan predictions as well. And if it's anything to do with the crowd, I think they're going to be going with Liquid. Liquid have been walking up on stage. The crowd are going nuts. Oh, it's so split. Yeah, 54%, 46%. That is incredible.
I mean, I was even saying that yesterday. It's like 55, 45. So it's like pretty accurate there. I was still like going for Astralis no matter what there.
Yeah, and we're going to take a look at our updated pinnacle odds for this matchup as well to see what the markets are saying. Of course, it's going to be favouring Astralis. I think it makes sense, #1 team in the world versus #4 team in the world, but these maps, they are going to be so huge for this series.
Oh yeah, I mean, thinking you know what you're talking about when it comes to this Vertigo pick, we're all uncertain. The only thing we know is that Liquid wanted it. That's the only thing we know.
That's pretty impressive because like, why? And now? Like, couldn't we have seen it earlier? That's my question regarding that.
I guess when you know you're going to make grand finals, you can save some stuff for later, yeah?
Probably, but are you really going to save it that long?
Maybe, I don't know.
But I think that's what's so bold as well. Like speaking to Stewie, I think it was even before the group stage. He was like, yeah, I know that we're going to be making these finals and I know we're going to be facing Astralis. He knew they had been preparing from day one of this tournament. They knew it was going to come to this.
Yes, he's always working on his visualization. And one thing I know about Stewie is that he said that the reason that he's always played well against Astralis on any team that he's played, or, well, sorry, with the MIBR in specific, is because Fallen would talk about Astralis all day long and that he prepared for them all the time. And he said that was actually a big problem that at the time he felt like they struggled versus some other teams because they focused so much on Astralis, and that's why sometimes they wouldn't be able to meet Astralis because they couldn't get that far. But if they did, the series would be, you know, razor thin. Like it would be like within one round, like it was last year. And on a personal level, it is important to be able to know the whole team you're playing against, not just your team versus their team. You got to be confident versus those players too.
Against Astralis and Liquid?
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. I've always been a person like, it doesn't really matter who I face. I need to beat them. I want to beat them. I need to go to the final. That's my, that's my mindset no matter who I play against. And I was even better with the new update in CSGO, so I can remember all the names in game.
Nice, yeah.
Well, I think that's a really good point you brought up there, Launders, is actually it was MIBR facing off against Astralis on this very stage this time last year, and it was Astralis who ultimately lifted the trophy. It was in the midst of their era, just after the FACEIT London Major win, but MIBR did pick up a good showing. They were the one team, really, that were kind of making a dent in Astralis' armor.
Literally one round away from winning the series and beat them in a best-of-3 in the semis or before that. Sorry, or not the semis, but earlier in the tournament. So that was close. And then they disbanded. So I guess we all win because now we got those players on Liquid. We have Liquid, who are the only team to be able to put up a fight against Astralis, and that storyline is just building and developing and might come to a conclusion today. We'll see. You know, if that rivalry, Device said at the major, he said, we beat Liquid, but Liquid had just had the Grand Slam. They respect winners, right? They are a team who have had so many great results. And after that major, he said in the interview, I want to be able to say that I beat Liquid a couple more times before I can really feel like we are a better team than them. And since then, they've only played Blast Copenhagen, where they did beat them, and then the ESL New York, where they also beat them. But this could be that final third win to really round it off.
Third and final win. This is going to be so crucial for so many things. I cannot wait to get into this one. I'm just thinking, what are the sort of impacts coming out of this? If Liquid do win this, there's going to be such contention in that HLTV top 4.
This is the tightest. This is like the tightest top 4 of all time in terms of how good each of these teams are. Like, it feels like we learned that from this tournament, especially with Fnatic. Like, I can never pick Fnatic as an underdog now until like 3 months from now when I see more results, because I have no idea. Like, I feel like they could beat anybody at the moment. Astralis, even though, and they played against EG with a veto disadvantage, with a historic disadvantage against EG, still like beat them, and in the fashion that they did, you could see how it is that they pull this off every single time. They look incredible, so they're so super clean. And then Liquid are the number 4 on the outside, and they are just so good, and they're Liquid and number 4. So it's like I feel like it's never been tighter.
Oh, of course. And then the most interesting thing is, like, also you have to remember is that we could actually see 2 different teams in the finals, because the games in general yesterday was really close. I mean, Astralis game, debatable, mostly because those 2 maps they won was pretty, comfortable for them. Even though, like, the second one was like, that was a really like a brawl in general, and that game was like really intense and really exciting to just watch. So it was like nice to see actually EG, make it to 1-1. But the last one was like, Astralis are getting away with everything basically. I mean, you have to remember that device spam that they did against Nate,
I'll never forget it. Yeah, I'll never forget.
Like, there's one of those things, like Astralis are good at, and this is why this matchup can be so amazing, mostly because of the storyline during the whole year, with everyone's like, okay, finally Liquid is having, the dream team, basically, at the beginning of the year when Stu was adding to the team. And they beat Astralis the first tournament of the year, but in the same time, that tournament has like a lot of issues. There was like iBuyPower.
Yes, yeah.
And it was just like, I remember watching that tournament, I was like, it didn't really matter. It was the beginning of the year, basically no one hadn't really started yet. And then everyone was like excited to see how Liquid is going to perform on the first major. And they lost against ENCE. The ENCE had a miracle run in a way, not a miracle because they're still a really good team, but like no one wasn't expecting them to be coming, that close, So going into this final, I don't know. I'm still going for Astralis, but at the same time, I hope it goes to 3 maps.
Yeah, I think it is going to be an incredibly close game. We've had some incredible games so far this finals. James and Dan, I think it is time to get into our grand final matchup.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much, Freya. This is going to be a hell of a way to kind of cap off the end of the year. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than two of the greatest teams, one of the best rivalries we've had in Counter-Strike, trying to prove against one another who is actually the better team right now. Liquid, they want that revenge. Astralis, they want to solidify with that, as Londa said, that third win.
I'm really interested in this matchup. Again, I think Vertigo is still at a stage where it just keeps changing, where you can kind of get a head start against the team with a pick and some gimmicks. We saw, again, I think it's partly with the interview from Sharks as well. I think that's a different scenario because they're still kind of rising to the top level. But I just think, like, if something catches you off guard in the vacuum of one map or Vertigo, then that might lose you that map, really. So that might be the intention here for Team Liquid. We'll have to see if it plays out like that. There's no guarantee. Even if they've got like a wall of smoke, like we saw from MIBR or something similar, that might not be enough.
Yeah, could be some elements of that, but we'll be jumping into the game.
Knife round.
Oh, you almost got me there, James. Almost going for a second.
Let's not go too crazy.
It is interesting in the sense that there is a world where it is either this like super hidden confidence pick, or it is, you know, we're confident here, but let's just throw it into the mix because we played against Astralis so many times. Let's with the underdogs, we're slight underdog. Let's make it a little bit crazy.
Oh, we're looking for the... that's a really impressive knife, to be honest. It's a lot easier to knife somebody when you're underneath them than Legion's position. There we go. Team Liquid win the knife round.
Which side do you want to start on, James? On New Vertigo?
We will soon see, but maybe there'll be a huddle first. What do these guys have in mind? This is going to be a really curious game of Vertigo. And I'm glad they won the knife round because they get to start as they want to, and it looks like they'll be starting on the CT side. I'm expecting surprises. I don't want to be disappointed. Had a nice chat with most of these guys this weekend. Saw Adren in the Complexity HQ, which is a really outstanding facility. I'm sure we'll have a video on that at some point with Freya. So we did visit there with the cameras and so on. A chit chat from Astralis as well, maybe discussing what to expect. Let's not forget, this is the new Vertigo.
Yeah.
With the hall around the elevators, all the newest changes. I'm excited.
Yeah, it was funny actually. I remember a tweet for not too long ago, maybe like a couple of weeks ago or something, where Sonic was expressing his dissatisfaction at the fact that the map just got updated in the middle of. He was just like, I think at that point he's just been spending like an hour on like mid takes and so on. It's like, oh, the map's different now, great.
Yeah.
so that's actually like one of the things too, is that how prepared can Astralis be on this map, given some of the changes, given being on the road and everything like that. But it's Astralis. If they left the map open to be picked, they're going to have some level of preparation for this eventuality.
Yeah, they've got their auto ban, so we'll see how prepared they are. I'm sure both these teams are paying attention to the things we saw from MIBR in terms of what they were prioritizing on the map. It was interesting. I think it was an interview with who said they're good on the map, but they don't like the map. Right. But I think it is heading towards a more traditional territory. Maybe not in the case of the verticality, of course, but just the way mid is actually turning into an actual mid with the door being removed and such. Chit chat from the 4-star Astralis squad.
Yeah, just that casual reminder that they've won 4 majors. It's quite a legacy, and it feels like it's a legacy that's only kind of just getting going, which is kind of scary. I mean, they're a team that could, in many senses, break a lot of let's say, patterns that we have seen. We will have like teams coming in and having their era and then going out. And Astralis are the first team that it really looks like with this lineup, with Zonic at the helm as well as the coach. They could be a lineup that persists beyond any other lineup, without any changes.
Yeah.
And still have such success. So that's an exciting prospect for what that means for the future of professional Counter-Strike as well.
Solidarity with the Astralis squad, the pride of Denmark. Here we go, time to get into the chairs now. It's fun playing on the stage.
I was just about to say, yeah,
I wasn't feeling amazing today.
It's a really nice and comfortable setup, I have to say. It's a very spacious, felt immediately kind of at home.
It's quite satisfying when I orbit you in the face on T-ramp.
Oh yeah.
At least got some kills. So
satisfying when I killed you with an auto sniper.
I thought I flicked you with the AWP. I thought I flicked you with the AWP, but I wasn't expecting you to be standing on the box. But I shot through the. I was going for a waist shot above the waist, so I shot the wall, so I didn't make a connection. There we go. Astralis will be starting on a T side, Liquid on the CT side, which is the choice of Liquid, of course, who won the 9th round. And the countdown has begun. We are 10 seconds away from what could be a very surprising map of Vertigo. Got Nitro with the smoke and diffuse. Gets him 2 decoys. So I think it's always worth paying attention to these decoys. Sometimes not much happens, but you never know, especially on full buys with an AWP on very rare occasion.
Okay, well, Astralis will be rushing straight towards the A-bomb site. All 5 players, no messing around, no nonsense. Ali's going to hear that. Stewie's there for backup as well. What do they have to try to slow this down, though? They don't really have utility. It's Nitro with the kit and the smoke, but beyond that, it's just all Kevlars. So Liquid will have to hit the shots. And we have 2 smokes and 2 Molotovs and a flashbang from Astralis. So they are ready to just get that, secure the bomb plant, and then lock out Team Liquid. And here goes the utility set, and they should be good to push forwards.
I know in the warm-up, Astralis were practicing some CT smokes or grenades from around that crane. We might see those later on. Zipex will start to plant the bomb. There's a boost over the smoke. Maybe that reaches towards the sandbag. Zipex will be seen and caught off, falling back. So there's the opening kill for Team Liquid. Again, they do have a smoke grenade, but how do they deal with that sandbag position? Device goes round the side. Magic's just waiting, just being patient for the time being. Maybe checking for a flank Liquid, but there is none. How do they press forward? The smoke is up, and Nitro's just going for a diffuse. Oh, the variance with the smokes. So simple in that pistol round. They made it look so easy. And they'll get most of the kills as well. Magic will hold on to, well, his Glock, but that just felt bizarrely simple.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how we used to see Vertigo happen. Like, they used to be just rushing A and diffuses in smoke. So that was like originally the first version of this map, how things went. And of course, it seems so, as Liquid looked so confident. They were so ready to get the boost going, to get all the setups going, and yeah, you never like to see that. And for Astralis, they will be spending all the honeys. They've got themselves a couple, well, an AK and a Galil, as well as a Krieg. So Liquid will likely expect something like this. It is hard to say, quite how good the Krieg is going to be on this map in a situation like this. I mean, obviously, it is just generally very good. And Liquid's showing us some side alley control here with Nitro. Very important position to look after on A. Makes the lives of the T's quite difficult if they are try to push towards the A-bomb site. Ooh, looks like Stewie's going to spot ahead. He's got to be really cautious here. So now actually a 3rd player ready to assist on the A-bomb site, which it looks like this is the intention of Astralis. Stewie looking to try to punish the throw of the HE, but he will be unsuccessful. Liquid are very ready for this retake should Astralis go for the push.
One of the changes to new Vertigo is the position of those sandbags to allow you to hop up. 45 seconds and there's no more sound cues for Astralis. Magic's waiting for some curiosity, but as the clock ticks, Astralis will have to press forward. Those are their smokes deployed once again. Very nice HE. They will take some chunks down. Bomb needs to, they've really got to plant this bomb before those smokes disappear. Zipex is the one carrying it with no Kevlar. 1 of 2 with no Kevlar. Device by the sandbags once again. And now it begins. This is so important for Liquid to hold this side alley. Magis can't really die here. He's got 20 HP. We'll see what he chooses to do. The frags keep going the way of Team Liquid. Astralis must find an answer for this post plant. With this position, you can see Stewie's gone really, really deep. Can't find a good timing for a flank. Dupree's taken out, and he's Device and Magis. 2 with Kevlar. Now it's just Device. Just a 1 kill for Astralis. Team Liquid seem very comfortable on the retake. Of course, there'll be more utility, maybe an AWP for Astralis in the future rounds, but for now, Liquid are retaking A with ease.
Yeah, it is a very interesting dynamic, because you can see that if you can get control of the side alley position to start with, suddenly it just swings into the CT's favor, because as you do get these options, as we saw with Stewie, where he can backstab, which then allows Naf to kind of pinch. So you can see that Liquid have a fantastic plan in terms of how to deal with that situation. So as you say, James, Astralis, maybe they've realized this, and we'll see some adjustments. But the Deagles will have to do for now, and they are being quite annoying here. A couple kills coming through towards B. That's a problem. Dupree, and it's going to have Naf to deal with. And he'll find Zipex as well, leaving just Device and Glaive. So it looks like the worst of it has been dealt with by Naf.
He has cover in mid as well, which is good. That means he can hold that position and protect the weapon of Twist from being collected. Well, Glaze has an opportunity on the A bomb site, however, he doesn't have the bomb. There's so much time on the clock, and he's got himself a Krieg. He has the best weapon on the server. He's got to walk because Nitro is above him, but he keeps jumping, and that's going to be some clues. That could allow Liquid to take a forward position. For example, Naf could have some kind of weird angle anywhere, but he's comfortable where he is at the moment. I mean, that's a weird enough angle. Pretty horrible to deal with. He doesn't have eyes on the bomb, though. So we'll see what Glaive chooses to do. The ladder is an option if he collects the bomb. Will he be ready for Naf's angle? So many strange and bizarre angles on in Vertigo versus the other maps in the map pool at the moment. 45-second mark. Glaive with some pre-fire. Is he ready for Naf's position, though? Not committing to it, walking away. Naf starts to peek, and just as Glaive pulls the gun out, that will be round 3 for Team Liquid. Krieg will be collected. So far, so good.
Yes. Absolutely. 3-0, it's all going according to plan for Team Liquid. A good defense here from Naf to put things back into control. And now we might see that adjustment from Astralis. They've really been looking towards that A bomb site. Of course, we haven't seen a full buy from them yet, but this will be the first one. So maybe we'll see some mid control. We'll see something that is different to those A takes, I'd imagine. Of course, the initial pressure will move towards the A bomb site. See just forcing out some additional utility from the CTs. Oh, what a smoke there from Stewie. Needs to be very close. There's many players here at the Liege with a free one through the smoke. That hurts if you're Astralis.
False sense of security. Twist with the AWP. How often do you see that? Finding himself with some comfort on the B bomb site. While Dupree has crept real close to the site, catching him off guard, and he's opened things up. That side frag is huge. Dupree with 3. He may have just stolen this round for Astralis. Molotov round the back. The bomb is still to be picked up, though, by the remainder of Astralis, but 4 versus 2 is a pretty strong situation for them. Yeah, that's a disgusting triple from Dupree. And Naf, maybe if he gets something, they can just think about going for this. Obviously, Liquid's economy is far from secured at this point. And that's a wrap. I think it's fair to say Twist will have to hold on to this, but maybe offense is the best defense in this situation as he creeps forwards. But yeah, Dupree, what an absolute god with that triple. Completely caught Liquid off guard. This is one of the new areas, or the new area, on this version of Vertigo. Hasn't really existed before. You do wonder if the most dramatic changes of the map are done with Twist will be taken out. The AWP won't be collected by Astralis, so looking for the more nimble plays. And the multi-frags, as we saw there from Dupree. Device and Dupree, the double Ds of Counter-Strike. Look how clean this is. Look at the crosshair placement. Glorious. Beautiful. That is so sick. That is exactly what Astralis needed as well. They needed somebody to bring something better to the table in terms of that individual performance. And Dupree with that entry fragging, I mean, that's what he's known for. We'll see if there's anything to be done here by Liquid. They lost everything in that last round. They decide to force it up. We see an M4, FAMAS, an MP9, a couple pistols. It's not looking all that good. I wonder if they have any protocols for these situations. Device is working on that mid control. Naf is above. And all this is very familiar territory, I would say. You can see Magisk is looking for that jump up. If there was to be a flash for Naf, that could be fantastic. And he will peek, and he can't really challenge against the Krieg here. He's got to be very careful. He's committed. He has to either decide to fall back or decide to go for it. He's going to go for it, and it's not looking too good here as Naf is going to whiff a bunch of shots. There is just a moment to get out of there, though, and he'll take it. That is very scary. You heard the headshot. It felt like a lot more damage than it actually was, but maybe he's done enough. With CZs and Deagles lurking, who knows what might happen. 1 minute on the clock for Astralis. The bomb close to A. Not fully committed just yet. Glaive with plenty of harassment. He's got more bullets to come. There'll be a boost into mid, a quick look, and nothing doing. What do they do with that little piece of information? Liege will make his way towards the A bomb site as well. The smoke's up once again for Astralis, but the side alley is a problem. We've got 2 players here. We've got Nitro and we have Stewie 2K, and again, that is where the round is won and lost, I feel like. Well, we've got Stewie opening things up. He'll get traded. 23 seconds to plant this bomb around these smokes. Look at them, just causing anarchy. Nitro moving around, he'll get traded. Stipex on the site, he's doing so much for his team, but the bomb still must get planted. There are 2 players alive for Team Liquid. The bomb's on the floor. Naf spotted, but where is the other one? Where is Twist? 8 seconds now, 7 seconds to plant the bomb. It's not going to happen. Team Liquid straight back to winning ways, 4-1.
Now that's not bad. They didn't have much to work with, but they sure did make it work pretty damn effectively. And they can collect those beautiful rifles on the ground. Some good damage done here by Device and Zipex, but ultimately, of course, it was Liquid to have all the success here. Twist coming in with Naf to finish off the job, and here we go once again. Will we see anything different from Astralis? They've got full utility pretty much, and Naf is going to be taking that forward position towards mid, looking after that by himself at this point. And Astralis, once again, harassing the A side of the map there. Having to contest with this early CT smoke. I'm liking this from Team Liquid. This control smoke towards the ramp really slows down the Ts in their default. But here, speaking of which, Device has now taken mid control.
Great off angle from Naf. Man just caught by surprise. Lots of creeping from Astralis. A sound cue given away. Glaive has a Krieg. Does damage, but not fatal. Smokes are up. Minute 10 on the clock. Dupree's moving the bomb around at the moment. Don't believe it's been spotted by Liquid. They'll keep 3 players towards B and 2A at present, as Astralis have control of mid for the time being. Dupree's found himself a weapon. All 4 with Kevlar and helmet for Astralis, the 4 that remain. But where are they going to get a kill from? How much information will that kill give to their opponent? No more sound cues. We've seen this commonly from Astralis on multiple maps. Where is Dupree taking the bomb?
Well, Naf has been forced back, and Liquid trying to work out what's happening right now. They have a retake set up for A, which has been working out for them pretty effectively. Oh, Device dealing with Naf, and here comes the split onto the side. That's a huge kill from Nitro, taking down Device, able to upgrade to the AK, and the Flames are doing massive damage to Sui and to Glaive, and that bomb needs to go down. There's only 7 seconds to plant the bomb. Sui's going for the hero play to deny the plant. The plant's coming through, and there it is, Elise! He stopped it all! Both kills, and that's a wrap for Astralis, once again on the A site.
They are prepared. How about those incendiaries? That was a complete nuisance. Vertigo looking like a master stroke for Liquid. Device opening things up. I think he got traded pretty quickly afterwards by the MP9 and Nitro. Hero, have a look at this. The StarCraft aim is disgusting. 5-1 for Team Liquid.
Excellent stuff. That is just the heroics there from Liquid are fantastic. Really doing the Marvel sponsorship proud, James.
It looks like Astralis really favour the A finish here. I think that much is clear to Team Liquid, and they're just so prepared for it.
Yep.
They couldn't find anywhere to stand that wasn't a barbecue.
I think on the pistol round, we saw the comfort from Liquid in the A retakes, and it just seems to be the case. They just put this one thing has persisted. Whenever Astralis get that A bomb site, Liquid seem to be very confident in playing the retake out and making it look favorable, and it does every single time. And now Astralis are on the Deagles again. They got a couple kills previously, but when they went B, you can see the pre-nades are definitely there this time. Liquid do not want to get caught by that again. And look at the control smoke once more. It feels like Liquid have fantastic tactics here to really stifle the approach, but hey, doesn't matter if the headshots. Okay, that's one way to do it.
Nitro still on the site, trying to create some space. The smoke is up on the side. Ali Naf is here, just in time to cover his angles. Oh, he's lining up all these frags, Naf. Device now to 2 HP, turning this around real quick. Just pistols left on the remaining Astralis players. Be it a buy, be it a pistol round, looks really difficult, but Glaive is coming in from the back. That's going to be a real issue, but as long as the longer this goes on for, the more aware Liquid will be. They'll wonder why everything has slowed down. So Naf will be distracted. Smoke to create some space. Here's Glaive coming in, he's looking for 2 now. He's looking for max information. The sandbags, there's the first 1D. Can he finish off the job? He can. And Nitro gets taken out at the same time. Astralis with an unlikely round, but how many of these rounds can they win? It's looking so dominant for Liquid, even despite this loss.
Yeah, that was such a brilliant flank from Glaive. That was very difficult. If you consider the fact that there was multiple targets there, just not easy shots, do you try to prioritize the hardest shot first, or do you go for the easier shot? He went for the easier shot first, and then And to guarantee that at the very least, really well played, and Liquid definitely caught off, and that's going to make a huge difference here. This could change the complexion of this half enormously, because once more, Liquid, a couple of MP9s and just a few pistols, it's not a good look. Once again, though, we see that smoke from Stewie persist on the A ramp, and that has been really effective in helping Liquid control Astralis and their map control attempts. Poking and prodding. Pretty much everywhere here, Astralis.
I do wonder if Liquid have any funky stuff set up for these kinds of rounds. Money broken, of course. Now this is a great opportunity for Astralis if they can keep them poor. They can keep them having to sacrifice something on their future buys. But they also have to play the clock well. And they have got possession of that mid position. Again, it's more of a commitment, I think, from both sides at this point, which might turn out to be a plus in the current design of the map.
The rotation's already happening from Liquid, though. They're actually rotating quickly enough. That's a great boost, but still, the rotation's in on towards the bomb site. There's 40 seconds to go, and Liquid are ready for this, but can they do it? Again, they don't have good weapons, but Nitro starts it off well. There's the swing on the MP9, and it's starting to get pretty desperate here for Astralis. They've only got 2 players left, and they're not prepared for this, James. But Liquid certainly are. It's up to Zipex for the clutch. 2 players, 20 seconds to plant the bomb. This is desperate. He could try to decide to go back here, but he's so committed in his forward position. There's the smoke, but how does he get to a plant? He's got to get the kills, or he's got to get the plant somehow. One of the two. These Liquid players are just drying it out. There's so little time, and they're just playing that clock like a fiddle. And here comes Zipex, and he'll get traded. Beautiful work there from Liquid. Again, just ever prepared. Team Liquid.
Looking real strong. And I just wonder if there's enough data for Astralis to be able to turn things around. We raised this question before the map begun. We've got the retakes on the A bomb side. We've got these force buys and eco rounds from Team Liquid. There's so many different scenarios which they may simply not be prepared for. It's going to be hard to turn things around in the vacuum of just one map, but they are the best team in the world, Astralis, so maybe they can do it. But then again, if they can't, who can?
It seems like Magic has some ideas. You can see him talking to the team there, Glaive, listening intently. And what's really interesting here, James, is that sometimes, if you have a bad start, winning those pistol rounds, like we just saw from, Glaive, for example, when you got that backstab, that can really lift the spirits of the team. But then for it to be the case that Team Liquid, they've done that twice now as well, winning with a much worse buy. And that's Liquid look like the better team in pretty much every category right now in these 8 rounds that we have seen so far on Vertigo.
Fast smoke out from Naf. Again, Nitro prioritizing the side alley. The corridor. Magis and Zipex taking some damage. A mixed bag here from Astralis. 2 AKs and pistols once again. The struggle is real. I think this really is the definition of that as far as Astralis are concerned. Twist, we saw him on an AWP earlier on. He spotted 2, maybe 3 heads on the radar. That will bring a third person over towards B bomb site in a Liege. Twist now taking a more aggressive position, but he may find himself flying off the side of the rail.
Good HE and good Molotov, though, from Naf. That's going to slow them down a little bit. Oh, the lineup's there, but he can only get 1. This is looking pretty bad now for Team Liquid. Do they decide to go for it? Again, their money is not secured. They may have to just go for a save from this position. Maybe there's a cheeky frag to be had. The bomb's only just been planted, so there might be something to be done. But so far, the setup is just for exit fragging only from Team Liquid.
Yeah, Nitro seems to be walking away. Well, even as rough as it looks, again, if they can keep the money poor for Team Liquid, if they can keep them sacrificing, then they could still squeeze something out. And I don't know what to expect from Astralis on the CT side. I know they were practicing some grenades in the warm-up around the A bomb site, but the way Liquid are playing the retakes, I can't expect we will see such smooth sailing from Astralis, this being the pick of Team Liquid. Nitro looking to pick up this rifle and escape. He might just be able to do that.
Oh, he's actually going to kill Zipex because of the fire. Oh my god, well played, Nitro. He got 2 extra kills out of that and an AK upgrade. That just became pretty epic for Team Liquid. Oh, what a shot. Glaive and the Deagle today.
Yeah, and it's necessary, as we can see. Really need to be turning things around Now, what will the buy look like for Team Liquid? We see double MP9. Again, there's so many close quarter ranges and little corners and places to pop out on the CT side, but this might just work out. We've got NAF on the CZ75. The bullets at close range used to be better than the FAMAS. 3 players remaining for Team Liquid as Elysian NAF lost immediately, but Nitro's trying to force his way back into this. He will do exactly that with 3 kills, and he's still alive with position and the bomb. Suddenly, shock and awe, Zipex is alone.
He's alone, but he at least has time to find something. He can be absolutely anywhere as far as Team Liquid are concerned, but they do have the control of the bomb. But at least the bomb is in a position where it's fairly in the open. Of course, though, with mid as it is, it's only 2 entrances that Zipex could possibly use. And he's going for the one through the B bomb site. As we can see, Twist has a pretty strong position here. He would block a jump across, and of course he's covering the close angle. Zipex, he's going to spot him first though. Nice right-eye peek, but there's the second play. He's got no idea. He's got no idea that Nitro is here, and this should complete the quad kill. Easy stuff for Nitro. What an absolutely disgusting series of kills from him.
His gun was poking out of the rail, but his body wasn't, so I guess he didn't come up on the radar. Nitro with a great turnaround. I forget who it was. He said he would be, a star player on any team, but of course he has his roles to play. But look at that from Nitro. Absolutely beautiful work. And again, one of many off angles to be played. Team Liquid look really well drilled on Current in Vertigo. Yeah. And now it's Astralis' turn to take a few pistols and a few rifles once again. Really having to grind out these rounds.
The Eagles have worked out from here or there, but Stewie with that Krieg is looking very comfortable here. There's nowhere to go for Zipex. He'll get burnt alive, and there's more players stuck behind the smoke. They're getting sprayed. Oh my God, it's just a firing squad of Team Liquid players. But Clay finally answers back, and there's a second. Almost a third. The bullets, though, aren't there. Has to swap for the pistol. So will Nitro, but he is not ready for Dupree. But Dupree is alone in this 1v2.
That was carnage. But there are survivors, and Dupree is the most important of them in the fact he's carrying the bomb. 1 minute. He has time to rotate. There are no sound cues, so he could be anywhere, but Liquid will play together, it seems. They'll ride and die together. The smoke is up for Dupree. Plants on an off angle. Liquid don't really give much in the name of cues. How do they play a trade frag situation? They've got 2 smoke grenades. They probably have some angles to smoke off these choke points. They need to identify what the bomb is planted for and where Dupree is likely to be. Quietly rotating. All the shift keys are broken. Oh dear. There's a sound cue. NAF will swing, and there's round number 8 for Team Liquid. They can go and collect some weapon upgrades, but again, it's a strong situation for them.
Yeah, this is really scary, James. You know, you got NAF who's 17 for 5 right now. Nitro's 13 for 5. And a lot of these kills are extremely impactful that they're getting as well. And this, again, this control smoke from the Team Liquid side that Stewie's been throwing has just been instrumentally important. It's a great attempt from Kalave, at least gets a lot of damage done to the economy of Team Liquid. So that, I mean, that's the silver lining, that they will be a little bit easier to reset. You can see that if Astralis did find a way to win this round and wipe out all the guns, Liquid would be in a eco territory. So again, there is some light at the end of the tunnel potentially. And there's that smoke.
Will it come fast enough? Apparently not. Although risks will be taken in a round such as this. 4 pistols on road. Astralis looking for that first headshot. Double peek at potential though. Elish with the drill of the Krieg. The HE grenade towards the sandbag. Molotov as well. The combo. Goodbye. Off the side you go. Stewie, he must thrive in this kind of situation with that kind of action. But Glaive is here again with Desert Eagle. This is absolute madness. All the kills for Glaive so far. NAF's coming in from the back though, and there's more gear in the rear because he's got a teammate in tow. Quick burst. There's a spray down for NAF, looking for some highlight reels, but Twist will steal another kill. That leaves Device on the site. Doesn't have the bomb. He does have 1 minute, but again, so many angles for these players to hold Nitro in an elevated position. 9 rounds for Team Liquid.
I feel like at least 60% of Glaive's frags of his 10 are Deagle kills, which is quite amusing. But yeah, I love this sequence here. We're going to see Stewie pushing towards A-Ramp. In this situation, it's very easy to be like, okay, well, we can just hold the site. But there are actually spots where you can just overpower your opponents. You have utility to go aggressive. You've got rifles. just use that, be aggressive, and you can see that it works out incredibly well here for Team Liquid, and they're really feeling it right now. It's actually very scary, James. Both Naf and Nitro are popping off like something special.
Third timeout for Astralis. They might have nothing left in the second half, and who knows what Liquid have in store once they move on to the T side. I wonder how many like full buys Astralis have had in this half, where they haven't been missing a rifle, where they've had a Galil instead of an AK. I'd be surprised if it was more than one.
Yeah, it's really cool just to see the way that Liquid are controlling the map with their utility in the early phases. It doesn't feel like Astralis are really getting much to play off of. You can see Magisk is very defensive on mid, and I think mid was pretty good when they were taking it. It's just Naf there. However, apparently that's enough, because Naf's going to take down Glaive, and Magisk can't get the trade. Oh, Naf has to be careful here. Magisk, though, he won't be able to pursue in time.
Yeah, it seems he didn't know whether to push or whether to fall back. Now, I think he may have heard some footsteps. Oh, Elige, okay. Well, this is awkward, isn't it, Magisk? Okay,
oh my
Elige
God.
falls off, he just doesn't check. That is, he's got an extra life, Magisk. Lucky to get away with that, although it was Liquid giving the sound cues. So it's a 5 versus 4 for Team Liquid. You can see Astralis positioning themselves to move into the B bomb sites. Magisk doesn't know how deep he can go. Twist, jiggling, Magisk looking for a rotation. This is going to suddenly just become extremely explosive, and I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, this is the first time Astralis are playing it out like this, but Magisk takes down Elige. That's a pretty huge kill. That'll even the situation on the numbers, but there's 40 seconds to get the bomb planted, and we have seen that that's been a time, or their time has been an issue for Astralis in some of these rounds, but it doesn't look like Liquid should be able to prevent the plant. That's very, very good for Astralis, but will they be able to hold on? 4 Liquid players in middle right now. 3.
Oh, Zipex eats one in the face. He needs to plant the bomb. 20 seconds left. You better get escapes on. It seems just nervous. They just don't know what to expect for when Liquid are going to push. But now 17 seconds. Can we get a bomb plant, please? They just don't know if it's safe. It looks really worrisome for Astralis here on Vertigo. They look lost in some respects, based on how good Liquid are going. Look at this retake immediately wiping out Astralis, bleaching the floors on the B bomb site, leaving Device on the stairs just to watch the action and eventually be a recipient again with his team. Liquid make it to 10. My God, they're looking so dangerous. You can see Astralis, they just don't know what to expect from Liquid at all. They had 4 players on the site for so long, just waiting for them like they had hidden positions or something to come out and pop out and do something.
It's pretty cool because it's kind of a facet of Liquid's, of Astralis' play. They like to actually just pause when they feel like they have a position that's very defensible. And like, okay, we have basically everything covered. We have time as well. Let's use the time to see if the other team makes a mistake. If they overstep, if they push a position, because they think that's because they think that we're going to keep pushing ourselves, and then we'll catch them. So
I can't remember a map like Vertigo where changes come in and you just see like how much power one team can have by having something up their sleeve.
Yeah. I mean, it is it is possible that Astralis will have a very similar CT side too. So I'll be curious to see if that's the case. And Twist, it looks like he's not been spotted from below yet. He's able to fall back. Mid's taken. So this is the one free bit of map control that Astralis have mostly been getting for free, that is.
And what can they do with it? They have mid, there's minute 20, it's a 5-on-5. They've got utility, they've got plenty of smoke grenades. They've often gone towards A. Maybe they've been deterred by these retakes, but I mean, look at that retake on B. In that previous round, that was even worse.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to credit Liquid, like the way that they've been controlling A and B early in the rounds. Oh man, and Naf again lurking. That's so sick, finding all these great off angles to attack Astralis, and Astralis are in trouble now. They've almost lost Magisk. He might go down here, 2 HP, trying desperately to defend, and Liquid are just putting on the pressure. And here comes the push Glaive, wrapping his way around the side. What a sick flick from Twist.
3 versus 2, the bomb's trying to get planted. Dupree has an angle, Twist taken out. 2-on-2 now. He spots Elige, but Elige is very hard to frag. 12 HP left. 1 versus 2. Magisk still alive from that duel earlier with 2 HP. Who's going to have the better angle? It will be Magisk, it seems. A much needed 4th round on the board for Astralis. These rounds are just so crazy, the back and forth. We move into the last round of the first half. The money's not great for Team Liquid, but maybe they can do something. I have enough for M4s out here. There's just wild action all over the map.
Oh.
Lots of quiet, then huge explosions, peaks and troughs.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, one more round. Astralis really needs to somehow find this one. Mach 10 on Dupree, not the best place to be in the world, but perhaps it is. They have a plan specifically for this. There's the Molotov to deny Nap that position. Dropping the smoke, which can suggest that maybe he's sitting in the smoke. Obviously, that would actually be fairly suicidal because Astralis can wait it out, and that's kind of the plan. It forces Astralis to wait it out because of that possibility, which kills a bit of time. Nitro's on an XM and Twist is on a Scout. This is it's kind of weird. See how it works out for them.
A lot of jiggling. Showing some shoulder. Trying to draw fire, trying to identify where these CTs might be holding. Liege will be the first to drop on the B-bomb site. Twist is here with the Scouts. Yeah, we saw him here with the AWP earlier. Really looking for the headshot. He's in the flames though, still standing his ground. They're lining up for him. What's going on? Twist will get taken out. 5-on-3. Again, Team Liquid ill-equipped in this round. But they seem more prepared overall, at least in this half. Stewie elevating the jump peak and a punish onto Device, and it's turning around. What is happening? Zipex, he might fall as well. 2 versus 2 now with 30 seconds on the clock. Guns flying all over the place as Nitro picks up an AK-47.
Oh, what a sick boost. Zipex will take him down, and Zipex has the bomb as well, but Stewie, he can cut him off. There's 20 seconds to get the plant, and Zipex now goes back to the other side, back to the B-bomb side. That could have gone really badly, but it will be a 2v1. Stewie, he's got a very good chance of doing this. There's definitely a kit somewhere, and he's got an M4, and they don't have much health. A couple bullets is all that is required, pretty much anywhere on the body. It's all going to be down to timing. Stewie looking to guess correctly. He is running, they'll know exactly where he's coming from. Great first peek, finds the headshot, no less onto Zipex. One more player to go, it's Dupree around the side. Dupree's been pretty lethal, but not enough. Stewie makes it work 11-4, and that is a very strong, very, very strong first half from Team Liquid.
Liquid seems to be holding all the cards on Vertigo, at least on the CT side. What do they have for the T side? We will find out after this break.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
All eyes on Team Liquid as we move into the second half. They chose to start on the CT side. Now, Astralis will enjoy that luxury, but We do wonder what they have in mind, Team Liquid. Nitro and Twist with some utility. And Twist has a P250 as well as a flashbang for that mid position. As Stewie jumps to head towards the sandbags. Nobody there. Magisk with a very tight angle, looking for the boost actually, and he might see Naflife. He goes for the pick, that's the bomb on the radar. The Brain Ace is a ding-dong from Naflife, and things go from bad to worse for Astralis.
Naf is looking pretty disgusting right now. Stewie getting some damage towards the A site. Oh, the flank comes in. Stewie's just creating so much chaos here, running a market around the CTs, but finally Astralis, they'll swing things back towards their favor. Elige getting shot in the back. He's the last man standing here. They need Team Liquid. They need Elige here. Nice shots, and now open up the bomb to be collected. Boom. But Glaive with those pistols has been so annoying, and he'll get it again. Nice headshot, and that's the pistol going to Astralis. But what do they have up their sleeves? Can they play such a crazy strong CT side as we just saw from Liquid?
Down to the wire. That was absolutely crazy. Well, we'll see what they have in mind for their opponent. And what will Liquid choose to do? We have a Deagle picked up by Elige. P250 for Naflife, but it's not a lot going on here for Team Liquid. I wonder if we will have the same quiet and slow approach as we saw from Astralis on the T side. Oh, that's not a good start for Device.
Yeah, the only Deagle on the team is on Elige. He finds himself a scalp immediately. But how much additional damage will be done? That's the question.
Can I retrieve that weapon as well? Stewie will be eliminated. Naflife's lurking in that same position. May keep Astralis somewhat stretched out. You can see Magisk playing pretty close. The MP9 just on the floor there. Definitely don't want to give that away. Footsteps towards the bomb site. Dupree, jiggle peeking. He's got his MP9 up. He needs to avoid getting deagled though. Does he have any support? Running out of bullets. Can he finish off the job? No. Pulls out the pistol. It's too late. Still a man advantage for Liquid. They don't have any Kevlar though. Molotov deployed by Zipex, but he gets his bell rung. His headshots galore from Liquid.
Oh my god, it's happening, isn't it? They had absolutely nothing to work with in this round, but they're looking like they're favorites to win it. They do have very limited HP. They got no Kevlar as well to their names. As Liquid are trying desperately to defend this one, but it looks like Astralis is going to start pinching in, and Naf is just stuck on the bomb boxes. They don't have much time to defuse this bomb right now. This may actually be won by time. Naf goes down, but if Elige can just buy some more time here, then maybe there's a chance it's a full defuse without any kit. Is there time on this one? It's going to be very close.
I don't think they've got it. Run for your life, Glaive, because I think Zipex is about to die! Just in the nick of time, Team Liquid. And you wonder, does that mean Device made a misstep? Does he think he can go so far, but he can't? The Molotov is up. That was so close. He was about to fall back. Elige fast with the Deagle. Real fast.
Yeah, I kind of don't think you can fault Device for that.
No.
It's such a sick shot over the fire and everything from Elige. That is, what a moment. That's the kind of situation where that kill at that timing in the round is extremely impactful. What a pickup from Elige. They've got 5 Kriegs out. That is scary. Going towards A very quickly, showing some presence there. Stewie leading the way. And Liquid will respect Astralis. They'll toss the Molotovs. They'll try to keep themselves in the best spot in terms of not being able to be surprised by anything. And he flanks from side alley. And there's a smoke as well. So systematic and methodical here from Team Liquid in their take of position towards the A site. And Astralis, they have to rotate players towards this bomb site now. They have to do it.
A deep Molotov. Have a quick look. Device will fall. Trouble for Astralis on the A bomb site. Trouble on Vertigo in every round, really. Liquid creeping with plenty of good time. Nice pop flash, though. Stewie can't find the angle. And that's some really important position and a weapon for Astralis. That's a huge weapon, a huge pickup. They'll switch it out. Dupree will take the Krieg. Dupree taking a Nitro immediately with the weapon thrown to him. That's a really key point, but Liquid looking to take the side alley back over the smoke. They'll spot a CT. 40 seconds. They've got one smoke for the choke point to try and plant this bomb. But look at a giant gap. Dupree looking for a flank. That's the Krieg gone. Deagle and M4A4 remain. Now 2 versus 2 as Naf gets taken out. Glaive just about holding on. twist. He can do this, or maybe he can't. Glaive from Deagle to M4. He will be a really important fragger for Astralis on this map of Vertigo.
Yeah.
In Vertigo.
Yeah, he's 20 for 12 right now, the stand-up performer for the Danes. And that was a cool round from Team Liquid. We saw them running an anti-force buy strat there. You could see like the methodical plan that they had. They were like, okay, we're going to take side alley control, we're going to take ramp control, and then we can pinch onto the bomb site once we get that position. But that pop flash, that denied the initial side alley control, and that was the key. That was the key for Astralis to have a fighting chance, and they had opportunities with that Krieg afterwards, and then that was, and we just saw them play out of their skins to secure that one. So really well played Astralis, and they forced Liquid to pistols.
Lessons to be learned every round by Astralis. I do not expect too many more mistakes in that mid position, that mid push. Glaive delivering a big flashbang. That's almost perfectly timed, but just a second too late. Dupree gets taken out. I don't know how many plays he saw in a death cam, maybe 2. Molotov deployed, which will hold position for now. But Liquid once again at the early 5 versus 4. Nice transfer from Device. A drive-by under the elevator shaft. Nafly peeking. And Device now will get the worst of that one. 14 HP. Does he have any help? The Deagle will do some more work, and Zipex has the angle. Nafly with 1 HP and the bomb. Oh my god. Elige is so sharp with the aim in this game. Every duel, he's looking so dangerous, but they've got to hold on to this bomb.
Yeah, what a crazy kill to get, because that really, I mean, it was looking very strong for Astralis. It looked like Elige was going to die, and then that leaves Naf with 1 HP. And the round's basically over then, but now it's very far from being over. Zipex by the sandbags, it's a very strong position, especially if there's no numbers to fight against it, if there's no Molotov to fight against it. And you don't even want to throw nades if you're in Liquid's position, because you want to have the element of surprise. You want to burst on a bomb site with the least notice possible to your opponents. So they'll be walking around. You can see Naf is the first man here. He will be the bait. He'll draw the attention. And Elige will be the player that really needs to send this round home. And there it goes, the smokes. And they should get a plant out of this. There may be a round on this for Team Liquid. Oh, it's gone too deep, or has it?
Oh, the lineup for Magisk! Astralis is just eating headshots for days. 1 versus 2 now. Zipex still trying to find Naf with that 1 HP. Elige putting in great work. Nafly heading towards a 30 bomb. Great incendiary, there's the 1 versus 1, and now it's Naf with 1 HP. Zipex has the smoke in the kit. Does he smoke the bomb? Does he smoke the choke point? He'll go for the latter. Flash round the side as well. Does he hold? He might have an angle to spot. Nafly, does he have a lineup? Zipex trying to avoid it. You can see how he's facing. He's holding on now. 2 seconds more. Nafly pushing. He's got a P250 out. He can't bait the shot, but somehow still alive with 1 HP. He'll run away. But the round has been won by Astralis, just about. They're keeping Liquid on 12. They're keeping themselves with some space for a little error.
Yeah, I actually thought it was really cool how, we saw Naf actually keep hold of what he had, but you can see this shot here. Boom, Elige. Because of that shot, they get an extra kill, they get a bomb plant, and that's a lot of economic damage for Astralis. So even though they lose the round, they do it in basically the best possible way. You can see Naf keeping hold of that MP9. The rest of his teammates on very strong rifles. They'll move quickly towards the A site. Zipex forced back. Stewie threatening those close positions. He will have to slow his roll though, because the CTs have repositioned. They're ready. He needs assistance from his teammates. He needs that utility to create some space if they want bomb site control. And now they're working on that side alley movement. And that is a big frag to get.
That's a wallbang from Stewie. Straight in the dome, no less. Nowhere to hide really for a CT. Magisk is getting caught as well. He's heard the tagging. You saw how Stewie went straight back. He heard that. He was tagging Magisk there. That's
did that go?
Really scary. There's still over a minute on the clock as well for Team Liquid. We've got Elige by the sandbags. Astralis desperately trying to hold on to that retake utility. There's one to be deployed by Device.
Doesn't want to throw it too early. Because look how much this is slowed down. Liquid are not doing anything. They're just waiting for a reaction.
Astralis have committed to this A bomb site though. They've left the B bomb site alone. There will be no lurker there. Concentrating the forces, maybe feeling like 3 players is just not going to be enough. And there come the frags now. Glaive and Nitro taken out. Magisk has to hold the side. There's some sprays to it. He's still harassing, but finally gets taken out. 30 seconds for this bomb plant. Elige been by the sandbags this whole time. And Device will take him out. Device getting popping now with that AWP. They're winning the duels, Astralis. You have to start to wonder now, Liquid must have come into this game so confident about their Vertigo. They've won just the 1 round in this half. If Astralis get to 10, do they start to get nervous?
Yeah, it's starting to get a bit hairy for sure. Stewie here with the wall bang we saw earlier. And it seemed like, Liquid, they were slowing things down so they could wait out the smoke so they could push forwards. But that duel won by Magus there, the first one, was so critical because, again, the side alley control is really, really important. And whoever holds side alley is probably going to win the bomb site. So it would have been cool if Liquid, in the future, maybe think about posting up an AWP on that angle if Astralis are ready to push it when the smokes go away. But yeah, they're definitely not looking... Well, it looks like the morale is not quite as good as it was earlier in the Liquid camp. But they don't have too much to worry about. There's still plenty of rounds in this one. So what do we see? Just Hero AK for Team Liquid. How much damage can it do?
I'm wondering about this smoke which is going on the crane, if it's deliberately to have a gap underneath it for the CTs. So if the Ts are facing it close, then their faces are kind of in the smoke. Something to look out for in the rounds to come. Now 26 for 11 will hold the AK-47 in this round for Team Liquid. Magisk is being invited to walk into a pre-fire essentially behind that sandbags position. Might need some support with a flashbang, maybe not. There is a grenade though from his teammates. Got some hopping now. They need to try and recover this rifle if they can, Liquid, but that might not look so likely. Glaive & Co in control of everything. Now Stewie with the Glock. Has he made a footstep? Certainly has now. It's got his burst fire out. Tagged through the walls. His turn to be on the receiving end. And there's nothing to be done. Astralis able to build a little bank as they're just 1 round away from double figures themselves. And again, is there a psychological issue there if they make it quickly and Liquid still only have 1 round in this half?
Yeah, it does look like they finally actually stabilized. So this is where things get really interesting between these two teams, as Liquid have cooled off slightly and Astralis are starting to surge. Okay, we've got the 3 Kriegs, the 2 AKs once again from Team Liquid, as Stewie is the first man towards that A-ramp position, just trying to take that forward control. Device is flashed back and away. Stewie looking to maybe punish, but he can't quite find an angle in time. But Glaive certainly can. Pushing through the smoke. Can he get out of there, though? That's the question. He looks like he might just be able to escape. A daring escape from Glaive, but he might even be interested to re-peek at some point. But that's a huge win for Astralis early on.
Elige just looking, he's begging for someone to peek him. Fire all over the place, flame carpets. Oh, look at the damage onto Elige, down to 10 HP, forced away from the ramp. They know their angles on those sandbags. Got to be real careful. Look, more spray. CTs must be careful, man. Device. Maybe spotting something on the ramp, falling back, resetting the position. Now it's Liquid's turn to make those plays. Will this boost come in faster? Glaive can see so much. Just a 10. Oh, I think he's on fire. He's got to move away, and Naf will find the frag. That's a side alley taken, and Liquid will storm the site now. Device maybe seeing somebody by the sandbags. Flashed off, however. 3 versus 4 in favor of Liquid. There is retake utility for Astralis. They've got 2 smoke grenades. But it seems they're backing off.
Interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting they're backing away here. The bomb is a pretty fresh plan, but maybe they just don't feel as confident as Team Liquid did in terms of how to execute the retake. To be fair, most of the time it's been the case that Liquid have straight up been denied the bomb site entirely because Astralis stop it when they stop the push by winning side alley. And then it never seems like Liquid can take grip at the bomb site. I think this is one of the first times we've seen Liquid actually arrive on the A site in a committed fashion, winning side alley, and it seems that in that scenario, Astralis deemed it not worthy to go for the retake. Now obviously, they're looking after their money, but they do have some money in the bank. Important to kill that. Molotov, MVP Molotov. As we had that boost in position and seemed to scatter those 2 players and put them in very bad positions. But here we go, 13-9, Liquid. Can they keep the ball rolling? Or will the momentum come to a stop once again in the face of the Danes? Looking over the smoke here, looking for that aggression from Astralis, who are throwing a similar smoke to Team Liquid to control the A ramp and prevent fast movement from the T side. This is a very slow one now as Liquid hold position, waiting out the smoke. So now they can finally advance. Device with that AWP on side alley. They may not expect him to be the one guarding side alley. That could be very, very annoying.
I wonder what Twist and Naf have in mind. They're not really committed to the A bomb sites at the moment. It's Stewie and Nitro in that respect. Liquid still spread out, but they are mainly showing presence towards A. And look at the rotation. It has brought Glaive over towards the A bomb site. They're expecting some of the usual, but the bomb is not headed in that direction. Stewie falling off now. But once the spray through the walls start to subside, you do wonder what Astralis will choose to do. We can see now a focus on the B bomb site. Stewie's also moving away. It gets quiet, but look at Astralis on the radar. We've got Zipex starting to rotate back towards the B bomb site. So I think they have a read of this Astralis. In fact, it seems they're going to stack with 4 people around that mid and B position. But when it comes fast enough, look at the grenades coming in from Liquid. Dupree taken out by Nitro, but Zipex has an angle, falling back to reset the situation. The spray goes both ways. He has an angle, but there's so much spray through the smoke. Still alive now as the bomb gets planted.
And here goes the boost. Again, we saw Stewie find success with that, but they know so well about it. It's Zipex to get 1 kill, but it's a 1-for-1. That's not really going to help out Astralis too much here. Stewie goes forwards. The timing's not with him, though, as Matt just takes him out. And it's up to Elige. It's up to Twist to prevent this retake from finding success. And posted up with the creep. Patient, but there comes the spray. The angle's just better for Zipex. And now Twist has it all to do, but Matt would take his head right off. And that's the defuse for Astralis.
There it is, round number 10 for Astralis. Liquid have got to start getting worried now. They've got the money to survive this, but they can't survive these rounds, it seems. But again, everything went quiet on A. Every other round where the A pushes have come in, there's been so much spray through the walls constantly, especially in that side alley position. It goes quiet, and Astralis have that 3rd and 4th man rotating back towards mid/the B bomb site. But when the fights happen on a bomb site, it just seems absolute madness, anarchy, bedlam. However, Astralis seem to be averting the variance since they're winning almost every round on this CT side. And here we go again. Only shortcomings for Naf. He'll be on the Mac 10. Double AWPs now for Astralis. A big difference in approach.
Yeah, potential aggression here available for Device with that AWPs. Looking for the shot over the smoke. Behind the fence here, this could be very surprising. He hasn't gone for this before. The flick's there, but the shot is not going to connect. Device has to fall back. He might get punished. Stewie's looking to pursue very quickly indeed. He can't quite get there in time, though. The follow-up wallbang attempt is not going to land either. The pressure, though, is pretty successful in terms of forcing Astralis back into very defensive positions. And Liquid might try to finish on the A side again. They don't really have presence anywhere else on the map.
Look how important these incendiaries are on the A bomb site, and also look that Liquid have 3 more in the hole. Once again, pay attention to the radar. There's a complete exit, an exodus of the B bomb site. Everybody's coming over towards A. They're expectant. They're convinced that Liquid are going to make the play. Device can't fall off, but there's no one to try and trade frag. Got to watch out for the sprays, of course, and again, still, Dupree just watching for the flag. There's a push from Magicson lining up for him. It's a complete slaughter on the ramp.
Just Stewie left now, he sees the legs. The spray is long as laboured, but he finds the finish. 3 more players to go, 20 seconds going to go into Device's AWP. And that's a wrap for Team Liquid in that round. 11-13, 2 more, and Astralis have tied it up.
That smoke Zipex was creeping along, and that's the smoke I was referring to earlier. It's deliberately being put in an elevated position. On that occasion, it favoured the T side.
Ooh. Oh my god, devastation from Magis. What a timing to find that push.
And you saw the smoke being set up as he gets that as well. So if they did win that duel and start to push towards the site, then maybe there's another advantage to be had. So really got to watch out for that smoke. Liquid put on the pots and pans. Deagles and CZ75s. Device won't be shy to look, but he's got to be careful. If he goes beyond these sandbags, then he could get caught short. Oh, Stewie has a superior angle. But for how long? Wonders about his 6. Close to the site, looking for the 1 Deag. Stewie really, oh my god, speaking of the headshots, Device is absolutely ready. Stewie's really been trying to excel in his most aggressive form of himself, but it's not working on the T side.
Yeah, you feel like he's going to catch someone at some point, but he's always just shy of catching a player, and of course that is to Astralis' credit. As you say, you know, Stewie's been set up to basically, as the guy that's in the most forward position to try to punish the CTs from overextending.
Hard times, Liege, man. Hard times.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking good. The double also, I wonder if that changes anything in Liquid's eyes in terms of how they want to handle these rounds. We haven't seen a lot of mid-play from Team Liquid, I have to say. That was something that was pretty common with how Astralis were playing their T side. And Liquid now having to think exactly as to how they want to handle this situation. Naf, 27 for 15. He's definitely been lifting a lot of weight for Team Liquid in this game so far. Here we go, back into it. Astralis on the comeback trail. It's 12 to 13, 1 round away. Team Liquid, can they mix it up though and find success that way? It's going to be an aggressive push towards the B stairs here for Astralis to see if they can get a quick pick, but nothing there to be found. Looks like we might see the mid take after all from Team Liquid.
One round now. 1 round away are Astralis. What have Team Liquid learned from these rounds? That's a big frag on Magisk, but Device will take a forward position. He could get caught away, but Nitro's got to be careful because he's got the bomb, but Device, oh, he's going to give the position away. He made assumptions, wild assumptions. He might not even see the bomb on the radar because of the angle. Astralis now spread across the map. We've got a rotation from Dupree. Big jaw, nice burst, Fryer from Glaive. Hasn't finished off the job though. He will reposition. Footsteps to be heard. He needs support and he's got it in Dupree.
Yeah, that's a really fortunate situation for Elise not to die there. And Astralis actually looking like they may be pretty good here. Dupree posted up with the orb. This should be a connection. Oh, there's the tease, the bait. Twist will walk straight into that one, but the bomb, oh, it can't be planted. Oh, excellent defense from Astralis. They've nailed it. 13-13, they have secured it, and they've got to be feeling good right now. Man, it was looking like it was all Liquid. It was looking like Liquid had this edge, but the edge has gone dull.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget that first half for Team Liquid. But you can never make assumptions about Astralis, not negative ones anyway. That second shot from Dupree was fantastic. What he said. 13 rounds apiece. Liquid, their money was around $3,500 to $4,000. They'll pick up some pistols and some utility. They'll look for a fast play towards the A bomb site. Sweet trying to jump up on the sandbags. Specs has a smoke to help him. Got some side flashes from Astralis to try and slow things down. The reload of Zepex will be heard, but there's not much spray to be had here. We've got the Deagles, but with those CZs, you won't want to be spraying. HE towards the ramp. Oh, Twist takes chunks. There's lots of Kevlar here for Team Liquid. Not so much in utility, though. That's that smoke grenade I'm talking about.
It's a big flash for Magis. We saw this before, and he did so much damage from it. This time, they're more prepared for Magis. They take him down. He doesn't get any damage. Zipex will hold on to the side alley, but with that kill on Magis, there is some relief here for Liquid, maybe some space to work with. But that said, Device may shut it down. He's got the orb, but there's the flick. He gets the leg shot onto Elige. But Elige does survive. But there's the HE. That should finish him off. Nicely done. Plays perfect with the lineup.
Liquid fishing for 1Ds or A1D. It's just, oh, P250, that'll do the job for Naflight. And that's a gun that could be recovered. A smoke is there immediately. Naf just creeping. He might reach the weapon as well. He will do. Punishing the reload. Beautiful from Naflight. This round might be winnable now. Device misses his shot. Still alive for a second, but he's got 11 HP. Naf will punish, and now it's Dupree. 1 versus 3. He's got a really bad angle for Naf's position. Spots him. But surely he's got to save this.
What a hero Naf is. Oh my God, that's so sick. Naf with the 3K, winning position by side alley, punishing that reload. That is, oof. That's not a good look if you're Astralis. It's got to feel pretty bad. Everything was going their way until that point.
That's a very common rule around smoke grenades. Don't fire your whole magazine because you might get pushed on the reload.
And you can, I mean, one thing we've seen people do is also bait a push with going for a reload as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's something that some of the pros sometimes will do. That time it wasn't a bait. That time it caught Astralis completely off guard. And that could make all of the difference here as we move to 14-13. Liquid's first round for a while. It's a great shot from Twist. He's having a more quiet game so far, but Naf certainly is not.
Yeah, we see the benefit of that position being changed to a ramp. That used to be a jump up position where it's really hard to duel, but now it's a ramp you can just slide up and pop in with that P250. But again, to have a reload punished this late in the game could turn everything around. There is money for Astralis to deal with this in a short term at the very least, but it has to be now for Liquid. They're back in the lead once again, 2 rounds away from the first map.
Deep breaths all around here. Nothing can be taken for granted. Only 3 rounds on this half for Liquid so far. It's looked very barren. And obviously for Astralis, it wasn't much better on their T side. It seems like the T sides have been very hard for both teams respectively. A lot of movement towards A here very quickly. Elish is the first man in this time. But where's the smoke? There it is from Glaive. It's a little bit deep actually, I think. A bit too deep to properly cover everything. And you can see it's actually favorable for the T to just wait it out, which is what they'll do. Device, he wants to kill though. It's very tentative if Lee just creep in. This is so scary for both sides.
Really key round. Liquid still spread out once again. They just got a few people showing some presence here towards a bomb site.
Wow.
Make it 1 less. Device is rewarded. Still 2 Ts down the low ground, but again, things get quiet now. We haven't seen that abandonment from Astralis off the B bomb site. Dupree is there with an AWP. Smokes up on the side, and they'll go for the boost. We saw how much he'll see. Glaive surely gets a free kill out of this one. I'm not sure if anybody's even ready for this angle in this particular round. Or maybe they are. Look at that meaty HE grenade. They could get a 2-man spray down. There goes Glaive. Big response from Liquid. They keep themselves with a chance in this game. Smokes up to suggest a bomb plant attempt. Zipex has to hold the side alley. He's got a 1 versus 1.
It's looking really good. Naf is going to be trying to swing around this position. A bit of pre-fire. There's Twist from the back, though. The sandwich coming into full effect from Team Liquid. It's up to Device and Dupree, and they've got AWPs. It's not the ideal situation to be in. They're well and truly locked out here. Their money is okay, but you really don't want to throw away 2 AWPs, and so they'll go for the save here. Really excellent stuff there from Liquid, punishing the boost and getting the split onto the A site. That'll be 15 rounds going the way of Liquid, James. They've reached game point.
Such an important response from Liquid. Great awareness from them. Really nice awareness. Clutch spray. And here they are, game point. It's been a struggle in the second half for them. But now they have the advantage. Worst case scenario has been sorted. Astralis, though, only need 2 from 2. Maybe the jumping was heard, because Glaive jumped a few times to peek and see what was below.
Oh, Stewie. That nade was so perfect from Stewie. What a lineup from him. That just goes to show that, you know, Liquid really they put the work in on this map.
Yeah, that first frag, and then they just smell the blood in the water. That's where the NA strong style comes in. That Pug just charge in and headshot everybody. 2-round gap. Astralis need 2 from 2. They still have the AWPs. They'll buy around them. You can see on the bottom left. Nafly now 31 frags in this game of Vertigo, leading the charge by a long way. Big support for the home crowd here in Arlington. All right, then let's see if Astralis can survive. Liquid moving quickly towards the A-bomb side. They've got some deep flashbangs as well, and there's some counter flashes from Zipex. Is able to fall back all the way, though. Maybe trying to catch Astralis off guard while they try to set up the beginning of the round. They've made a lot of inroads. Stewie already in the elevated position. He really wants to deliver some headshots.
Yeah, I was wondering if they would go for this A site again. It has been just this consistent base that they can work from. Device looking to creep here, but he may be denied by nades. He's got to be quite cautious.
I wonder if the surge is partly intended to make Astralis use their grenades quicker. Because they're not really committing to an execute just yet, but they are harassing a lot with utility Liquid. And they still have a fair amount left with 3 mollies and loads of smoke grenades.
Yeah, and that Molotov that we saw there, it didn't seem to do much, but it does actually prevent Team Astralis from having a forward position, which prevents them from seeing if someone's actually moved into side alley. So it is this like huge pressure, as you say. It forces them to use utility. Here comes another check from Magisk.
Oh my god, almost abandoned ship. Zipex is delivering that smoke again, giving them that gap for the third kill. 5 versus 2, and it's just devastating. Zipex looking for the ace now, and Stewie will get instantly traded. It looks like the Astralis were going to boost on the site. They charged through those smokes, but the T started pushing, but Zipex just cleaned house. Again, Astralis putting that smoke down time after time. You can see the gap in the top of the smoke. They can see them pushing through the ramp. They've got such an advantage with that smoke. It's devastating.
Yeah, and Liquid, I mean, they have to identify this, or they have to, I hope that they will identify this, call that timeout, like whatever it takes, because that is something you can just wait it out. You can just wait out that smoke. I mean, presumably Astralis can keep re-smoking it, but again, the pressure comes on towards the A-bomb site so quickly, you can force out those smokes and still have plenty of time to hit the site. So we'll see what the adjustment is for Liquid, because again, the only thing that's, the only place they found success is on those A attacks. So I feel like at this point, even though that round didn't go their way, I feel like they're going A again.
They need a flash behind that smoke, because Astralis in some rounds are just picking it for free. And it was so important that Zipex ran through the Liquid's smoke execute to make use of that smoke and abuse them as they're moving up the ramp. If he doesn't do that, who knows how the retake goes. But here we are, 14-15. Still a good buy for both sides, a full buy for both sides. Astralis continuing with the AWP. If they had the money, then maybe they would have dropped a rifle in spawn in case they need one in a rotation.
And indeed, again, we get the initial pressure towards the A-bomb side. Liquid are holding towards B and middle at the moment, just in case Astralis were going to take a big risk in this situation, but it's looking pretty similar to the previous round in terms of just holding their ground. Although Liquid actually abandoning the position around A ramp, so that is definitely a change. They have, of course, left Stewie there for the time. But now, even now, Stewie is falling back a little bit. So Liquid looking to switch things up here to try to claim the 16-14. Looking for that B attempt. But here's dupreeh. He's waiting with the AWP. That's so favorable, dupreeh. Great flick.
Yeah, they're going for a double peek there, Liquid. The dry peek, and it will cost them. That smoke may allow them to get closer to the site, although dupreeh will lurk around the outside. 1 minute on the clock. No one towards A for Team Liquid. A last-ditch attempt towards the B bomb site. We see one player beyond the initial angle. Glaive with the fadeaway flashbang. dupreeh, is he going to find the right angle? Does he see the bag behind the T? Surely he gets another one here. Indeed he does. Twist taken out. He's unable to rotate though. Smokes are up and maybe there's a chance. Nafnag looking to get more. The transfer won't be good enough. Magisk is there to trade.
He's done enough though. He's cleared open enough space for a bomb plant. Device is stuck at the back, so is Magisk. A couple of nades will go forwards. That's a great HE, doing massive damage to Elige, but it's Zipex on the flank. Now Elige in a 1v3. It's just not going to happen. Magisk has the angle. That's 15-15. That is overtime. Very well done by Astralis. What a comeback.
Very strong CT side. After Liquid's dominance, we had no idea what to expect from Astralis, but apparently they're just as good. We got 30 bombs, and we are going to get more in overtime, which comes after a break.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
And it continues. Astralis will continue on the CT side, and maybe that will give them an advantage the way both these CT sides have gone. Nafly now with 33 frags, still leading the charge on the table, but will it be enough? Will more be required? Well, certainly from both teams, more will be required as Team Liquid will head towards the A-bomb site once again for the initial exchanges. We see Stewie with the AWP, and I think he might find himself something here if he's... Oh no, he hasn't seen device. Just a little too low on the smoker's device. Going back to his gap once again. Liquid with a good spread across the map for the time being. We've got Dupree and Glaive towards B. Does Device see Stewie? Surely one of these guys is about to get wrecked. Oh, a little jumping and Device to be spotted. Again, he's been taken out from the close right already. Alicia's been popped in the meantime. Twist harassing, looking for something towards B. We can see Glaive has crept past his angle. So it's nearly 5 versus 4 for Astralis.
A minute to go. Lots of time for Liquid to find something. They don't have that much utility though, that's annoying. Nice shot. Stewie finds another wallbang kill. He seems a little bit too good at that. Oof, this could be another one here if Magisk is not careful. There's the peak. Ooh, I felt like Stewie was so close trying to punish the footsteps as well. And now Xyp9x will go forwards. They know they have to be aggressive. They have to get something going here. Xyp9x could be the man to make the difference.
Oh my God.
But that's another flick from Stewie. He's looking phenomenal right now with this AWP.
Just when you thought he couldn't get even more aggressive, Stewie. That's the extra gear we used to see in Connector on Mirage for Cloud9. And here he is for Liquid, and it gets better for them. Nitro's activated as well, and then it's just Glaive. 1 versus 4. What can he hope to do? Making a play through the smoke. I think he wanted to try and do something as the bomb was getting planted with 17 seconds on the clock. But he will be eliminated through that smoke. Stewie making the difference with the AWP. Some disgusting wallbangs, some nasty flicks.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Glaive didn't decide to actually save, considering that the T's, you know, if they win a round, they're gonna have buys every round regardless. But the CT's economy is a bit more fragile, so I'm not sure what he was after, but really great round from Stewie. Look at these AWP shots. Fancy that. Beautiful work from him. Maybe he needed an AWP sooner on the T-side aggression.
God damn.
5 M4s for Astralis. Dupree committing a little bit deep on the stairs. Lige also harassing towards middle, just keeping that presence up, making Astralis worried of everything. It's a very early smoke actually for Astralis to kind of block off the B stairs. And that will definitely help out Liquid later on, as that's one less smoke for Astralis to hold them back with. Looks like they have their eyes set on the A side of the map again. And Stewie, I'm looking forward to see what he can deliver with the AWP here. Good HE from Astralis, second one not so good. It's very quiet right now.
Who's going to get the opening kill? So much harassment towards A, but the bomb's in a non-committal position. And again, Liquid are still spread out. Now, will they start to fall back away from A? Will they leave one person here to show some presence? They're looking to punish a peek. You can see Stewie, he's waiting for it, but Xyp9x will know better. Smoke is up at the 40-second mark. Bomb collected by Naf. We've got a rotation through B, I think, from Dupree. There might be a flank here potentially for Astralis. 30 seconds on the clock now, and Liquid could be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, that's a missed HE. That's unfortunate. I think that would have connected as well. Dupree waiting on that flank. 15 seconds for the plants, getting a little bit hairy here on this A-bomb site for Team Liquid. They'll move forwards, and it's looking pretty good on the initial exchange. 2 quick kills, this device to return, but now it's the flank from Dupree. That's clean, that's clinical, but Dupree is answered by Twist, and now it's looking very bad for Astralis. How do they get back in?
Magisk and Device, no grenades, 1 defuse kit. Twist just waiting. Give him a reason to throw the pop flash. Lige with a nasty angle. How on earth is Device still alive? Magisk starting to creep. That's beautiful from him, 2v2, but they still need to defuse this bomb. Can the angles be covered? Magisk coming in to help, and oh my God, he's going to walk straight into it for a collateral.
Oh man, that is huge. What a beautiful round from Team Liquid. They're finding all the success that they couldn't find in regulation, and that's got to make them feel so confident.
It's crazy, the flank from Dupree. I think like all of a sudden, so many people die so quickly, and the flank's unable to really get activated.
Disgusting.
Brutal for Astralis, and indeed, not saving that weapon from earlier on will have some issues in this one. Some consequences. Liquid now may slow things down as they will expect some kind of push, especially after that round from Dupree, excuse me. So we have one player above the ladder. Liquid will give less sound cues away this time. Alige is looking for it. Down Device goes. Oh, he spotted enough of him, and back up again. He doesn't get touched there.
Yeah, just enough coverage. Oh, Stewie, nice shot onto Glaive. Zipex trying to do what he can, but it's not all that much to be done. Now holding a pretty strong angle here. The Flames will make it a little bit difficult to see anything, but again, it is a 5v4. There's a minute to go now for Team Liquids, and with that 5v4, they can feel confident to rally the forces and take a bomb site. The bomb is down though, needs to be collected by, well, likely by Naf, who's coming through on the flank.
Oh, that's a big grenade, and there's that lurk smoke again, which Zipex is still hiding in. Oh, they look like they're on his 2. He's seen the bomb as well as the information, but down he goes. 2 versus 2. Streak's got the side already. Device with some flashes. Dupree's the one who's close. Device on a long rotation though, and he's walking as well. The smoke is up. Lee seems to know where Dupree might be. There's the first flashbang from the T side, actually. Device still with 2. Never mind. Down he goes. No defuse kit for Dupree, looking for whatever he can find around him. He's found himself a Krieg, but he's got to go fast with no kit. Some spray through the wall. Where's the second player? Never mind. Alige has all the angles on the A bomb site. 3 from 3 for Team Liquid. And now maybe they have their strongest chances to take the map.
Absolutely. It seems like they, they can find value here or there around the map, but as far as like committed pushes, the A bomb site delivered for them time and again. The confidence coming out. Just the gear switch of Stewie on the AWP, that changed everything, James. So his role is so vital in these victories that they've had. And that's beautiful to see. That definitely spells very good things here for Team Liquid moving forwards. They just need 1 of 3 rounds. Astralis now, once again, massively on the back foot. But can they, like they did before, bring it all back?
What have they learned from all these rounds? T-side's been a struggle for both. Charging fast towards the A-bomb site, it seems. Can they swing with the numbers? Stewie's up first. Stewie's down first. Alige, though, is a giant problem for Team Liquid that Astralis had to deal with. Showing some presence on the site. No Kriegs, though, for the CT team. Still have Twist with the AWP towards B, so Liquid are quite spread out at the moment.
And that peak that Nitro has there, if it's to be attacked, it's extremely favorable in nature. So you have to, as a T side, you've got to use utility to assist you if you're going to take that position. And you can see that's exactly what happens. Smoke goes deep, and Device, he's got the space now to push close to the smoke. It's just been re-smoked, though, by the CTs. So Device has to feel very confident and need to push that smoke. And maybe in the chaos, he'll have a spot to do so. Maybe now's the time. He just heard Nitro right next to him get a kill, but Nitro seems wary of this as well. Nitro's in such a bad spot. If they try to pinch him, there's a smoke, though. And Nitro, he can turn his vision towards the back. And oh my God, the assistance comes in. Liquid have an answer for absolutely everything. And Magis will go down, and that is going to be a wrap. And map 1 will be claimed by Team Liquid. They went for the Vertigo pick, and it worked.
Boy, oh boy, that map does look like absolute chaos around those smokes. So much spray asking questions of the positions of both teams. Some nasty collaterals and great individual play. And congrats to Nat for so many frags on that map of Vertigo. Running hot from the start to the finish. Wild action. Didn't expect such a comeback from Astralis in the second half, the way it looked so strong for Liquid, but they did take them to the brink. And again, if it wasn't for that punish through the smoke when on the reload, who knows how it might have ended in normal time. But here we are in overtime. It is going the way of Team Liquid. An absolute, just full of anarchy. That map, so many smokes, so many Molotovs around the A-bomb site, just absolute chaos. But indeed, that is the first map in the hands of Team Liquid. We head to a break. When we're back, we'll see if everything will calm down, and we'll see some normalcy on Nuke.